Good morning, all. It's Ripa Mike coming at you live from our dealership here in Boyd, Texas, RipaUSASales.com. The purpose of this video is how do you actually properly load and unload a trailer? So we ship these things literally coast to coast, and we've got 6 machines going out to Guatemala, actually, so we're international now. So probably 60% of my customers have never ever bought a machine and ran one, anything like that on heavy equipment, whether it be commercial or residential use. So on a trailer like this, that's really not that big of a deal. When you load this up on a deck over, like basically a trailer where, I'll just turn the camera a little here, where the deck is over the tires right there, and you don't have max ramps or something like that where it's a 8 or 10 foot long ramp so it's much steeper. That's where actually it can get a little more difficult, to where you must use the bucket, because there's no way to get it up there without the thing flipping over, right? So here, I don't have to do it this way, but my model is kind of like the way Southwest Airlines does their thing. We've got one plane, every pilot, co-pilot, whatever, they all know how to fly it, because they're all the same model, at least for now anyway. So this video is going to talk or show you how do you properly load and unload. And I'm going to do this, and I'm not the best at it, but I get the job done, and I've never flipped it over. And I've loaded all the way up to R57s, R82s before, and then all the machines that you see sitting on the other side of this R10. So the first thing is, when you're loading and unloading a vehicle or machine, doesn't matter what it is, you want your tow vehicle, in my case it's a Ram 3500 1-ton dually, you want that truck to be, before you put it in park, you want to engage the emergency brake, then put it in park. That way the transmission is resting, that way the vehicle is not resting on the transmission, the vehicle is resting on the emergency brake and then the transmission. That's kind of like why if you're ever parked on a hill and you don't do what I just said, when you go to shift it, it's a little harder. And it's because you've got more force on that metal on metal contact because of all that weight, okay? So by putting it on and putting the parking brake, emergency brake on first, it's resting on the emergency brake and then the engine. So when you're loading this, there's going to be some back and forth movement, as you'll see, of the trailer. So you want to make certain that you protect your transmission of your vehicle. Second, to help with that, you want to have your tow vehicle chocked. You want to have your trailer chocked to prevent as much movement as you can. Now, do you have to do this? No. Should you? Yes, in my opinion. Just like, do you have to grease your machine daily if you're using it? No. Should you? Yes. Right? So I'm all about preventive maintenance and what's best for the machine, because I take care of my stuff, and that's why literally everything I have, stuff just works. And people look at me like, man, I don't know what you're doing over there, but you don't ever have problems with your ATVs, side-by-sides, chainsaws, whatever it is. I've got a 10,000-pound car lift at my house. I do all my own stuff, unless it's a warranty issue, on my truck or whatever. And then I go to the dealer, and really, if they'll give me the part, I'll do it, because I know my quality. But anyway, that's a side discussion. So anyway, so I'm going to jump on this thing, and I'm just going to load it up. I'm not going to talk about strapping things down. But the big thing here is, as soon as I start going up, and I always go up like you see like this, up hills. When I unload, then it's just an easy, just drive straight down. Should you go up the other way? It really depends. If it's really steep, like if I'm doing a deck over, I'll actually turn around then and go up the really, like the deck overs. I'll actually go up, like right now, the back will be going up first. So technically, therefore, a brief period of time, the drive motors will be up in the air, right? But it's not that steep. You can see the little 2-foot dovetail. It's hardly an angle at all. Now, if it was steep, yeah, absolutely. I want those drive motors, and the drive motors, right? That's that right there. So that's where all your power is on that one. And then, of course, the one on the other side. So I want all that power on the bottom to where it's never up in the air at all. Or, there's probably other problems you've got if that's the case. So anyway, so when you start moving it up, if you're uncomfortable, and I'm going to do it just so you can see, put your bucket down on the ground, or maybe an inch off the ground. So when you're going up, there's no way this thing can then tip forward and fall on the ground, because it's going to be resting on the bucket. And then let's say it's really steep and this is like an R32 or a really big machine. When you start going up like that, if it were to start tipping forward, all you've got to do is just press down on the bucket to lift you up. So it's not a big deal at all. You just want to make certain you don't need to eat. You need to pee really bad. You don't want to be anxious, whatever. If you've never did this before, take your time. Don't have your wife and 13 people standing around, somebody videoing you like I'm getting ready to do, right? You don't need to be nervous. And practice this. When it comes to putting the bucket down and having it follow you along like I'm going to show here in a minute, take your machine and take it over there somewhere and put that bucket, I don't know if you can see me, but put the bucket on the ground way out there somewhere and practice moving it back and forth above the ground at the same height. That way you're going to be sticking and booming at the same time, and get that skill down to where you can take that bucket and consistently move it from out there all the way in about an inch off the ground. And as soon as you can do that consistently, and this isn't hours and hours of practice, you'll be able to do this without any issue at all. And again, I'm not the best at this, but I managed to load this 20-foot trailer. We've got a 40-foot, deck over with 16K, dual 16K axles and tandem wheels, all that kind of stuff. So it's 2 feet high. Well, maybe not 2 feet. It's about a foot or so higher than this one. But I don't want to scare anybody. But it's really not that big of a deal. And then there's other things you can do, like, well, I still don't feel comfortable. Okay, so look for a low place to where you can back this up to where your trailer's sitting further down. Or worst case, take your excavator, if you're loading it, and dig a pit where your two trailer tires are. That's the width of the trailer. Just make certain your truck can pull you out of whatever it is you're digging yourself into, because literally you're digging a hole for yourself, right? So, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. The biggest thing is these machines, excavators, they are crazy powerful once you get comfortable with the machine, especially if you know how to do it. Like, I could do it the easy way and turn it around and then just take the bucket and stick it way out in front. And now I've got, the weight of the boom stick, the bucket, whatever, way over there. There's no way that thing's going to fall over backwards. Okay. But I want to show you this way because a lot of people are nervous, and I want to show you this is an absolutely guaranteed. There's no way in the world to make this thing flip over if you use the bucket method, which is what I'm going to demonstrate. So if you've got any questions, post them below. Again, I don't consider myself an operator. I'm a skid steer guy. So I'll do that. But on an excavator, I can do it. Am I going to be the fastest or best or whatever? No, but I get the job done and I don't tear anything up. So anyway, post this. I'm going to jump on the machine. I suffer from tinnitus, so you're going to see me put a little headset thing on. And I apologize about my dress because here, we're going to be here. It's Friday, November, I don't know, it's the Friday before Thanksgiving, whatever that is, the 19th or something like that. We're getting ready to do a couple of deliveries today. I'm delivering this to this R10 to a customer. And then after this, I've got the R18 there. We're getting ready to deliver after that. So I'll have, well, actually we're doing the R18 delivery, then we're doing the R10 delivery. But I'm going to just show you with this machine. The bigger machines to me are so much easier to load because you've got so much more track wheelbase there, and it's heavier. So, you know, the majority of the weight is so low, there's really no issues. But anyway, I'm going to shut up. You're going to see me get started here. Be nice in the comments. But anyway, so here we go. And I'm going to be able to talk, I hope, while I'm doing this. So I'm going to apologize up front if you can't hear me because of the machine. So diesel machine, turn it to the left a couple of seconds for the glow plugs to do their thing. Turn it on. Engage the hydraulic pump. Now I'm not going to go through all the pre-setup checklist stuff. You know, grease the machine. You know, do your walk around that you should be doing. Make certain everything's fine. You know, all that kind of stuff. This is just get this thing on the trailer, right? So, all right. So I've got the boom up. I've got the bucket, and then we're just going to go. All right. So the one thing that I didn't say is here in lovely Boyd, Texas, it rained all day yesterday. So the steel ramps, I guess I could take these things off. The steel ramps are wet. The tracks, they're wet. The ground is wet. So that's why you saw me have a little issue there sliding around a little bit before I finally like, okay, I'm good. And I went all the way up. The other thing you want to do is once you get up here, right, those tracks are going to be up, right, because of the angle. So you don't want to sit there and teeter-totter. So go all the way up and keep going. Don't stop as soon as you feel it start to like whatever. Just keep going. You know, like we say in the side-by-side world, when in doubt, power out, right? So just keep that thing and keep going up, right? There's no issues. And once you're aligned correctly, you know, with the tracks on the ramps, you don't need to look at both sides. That's why I just kept, because for me, I like it to be perfectly centered. And then I just sit there and I watch the one side because I'm good. Because so long as that track stays on where it needs to be, well, then, of course, the other track, it's not going to go anywhere, right? But that's it. You just put it up there. And then, for me, I like the weight over both my axles. And then if I don't have anything else, which I do, I like the boom in the front. And then I'll do, you know, we use chains and binders here. So I'll do a 20-foot chain across here. I'll do another 20-foot across there. And then I'm good. And then we'll do one there on the bucket. But that's really about it. Again, if you have any questions, concerns, feel free to, you know, tell me how you did it much better and whatever, but I get it done. So anyway, y'all have a good day and appreciate everything. Take care.